We've all been through a lot over the last year. A global pandemic, social unrest, divisive election, and a new administration intent on transforming our nation to advance the agenda of the radical left. But for all we've been through, I will always be proud of what we accomplished for the American people over the past 4 years. And I will always be grateful for the opportunity that President Donald Trump and you, the American people, gave me to serve as your vice president. It was the greatest honor of my life. And as we go forward, we must not allow the Democrats and their allies in the media to use one tragic day to discredit the aspirations of millions of Americans. We cannot allow the Democrats and their allies in the media to use one tragic day to distract attention from a new administration intent on dividing our country to advance their leftist agenda. My fellow Republicans, for our country, for our future, for our children and our grandchildren, we must move forward united, and I know we will. I know we will because I have faith. Boundless faith in the American people. And faith in the one that they've put their trust in since the founding of this nation. The Bible tells us that when King Solomon took his position, the Lord asked him what he wanted. Great wealth, the end of his enemies. And he said a prayer I've prayed more than once. He said, give me a discerning heart to distinguish between right and wrong. For who is able to govern this great people of yours? I know the future of America is bright because the American people are a great people. I've seen it firsthand. Traveling across this nation as your vice president, I've seen it in the way strangers come alongside people they don't even know in the wake of a hurricane or a flood. I've seen it in the way our extraordinary healthcare workers and first responders leaped into harm's way in the midst of a pandemic. I remember seeing it 20 years ago after the towers fell and the lines out of our recruiting stations in every city in America went around the block. And I've seen it in the watchfires of circling camps, in my trips to Iraq and Afghanistan, aboard ships, and walking on a quiet hillside in Arlington. You know, when I think of the people of this country, I'm reminded of the last time I saw President Reagan. It was 1988. As John said, we had occasion to meet at the White House briefly. But after our sit-down, he came into the East Room because my wife Karen was there and the spouses of the other 30-some-odd candidates were present. He walked up to a little makeshift podium, and as John told you, I took the occasion when I sat across from our 40th president just to thank him. Thank him for everything he'd done to inspire my generation of Americans to believe in this country again. And I think he heard that from more than a few, because as he stood in front of that small group, he said words I'll never forget. He said, "You know, a lot of you have thanked me for everything I've done for this country." And he said, "But I want you to know I don't think I did anything for this country." He said, "I think the American people decided to right the ship, and I was just the captain they put on the bridge when they did it." Such humility, such love of country. But in all the years since, I have come to the conclusion that he was right. The American people did it in 1980. We did it again in 2016. And I know the American people will right the ship again when we win back the Congress in 2022 and win back America in 2024. So help us God. And therein lies my final reason for hope in the country. Hope for our party and hope for our nation. The Bible says, unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. And since the founding of this nation, among all the nations in the world, this is the nation founded on a creed that we're endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights. This is a nation of faith. And I know that faith has seen us through triumphs of tragedies in the past. And as I stand before you today, I believe if we will but renew our trust in Him, that if His people who are called by His name will humble themselves and pray, He'll do like He's always done in the long and storied history of this nation. He'll hear from heaven, and He'll heal this land, this one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So we are come to another time for choosing. Men and women of the Republican Party, I have faith that soon our nation will choose freedom and American values again. And if our party will continue to combine our commitment to timeless conservative principles with all of those ideals with which we connected with even more Americans the last 4 years, I know the best days for the Republican Party and the greatest nation on earth are yet to come. So thank you, and God bless you, and God bless America.